The easiest things I find to promote are things I genuinely use. I don't want to stop a video to do an ad read. I want to be able to integrate it in a way that makes sense.
You're listening to the Affiliate Marketing Podcast brought to you by AffyVerseMedia.com, the chapter and verse of everything you need to know about running a successful affiliate program for your business. Now, here's your award-winning affiliate and performance marketing host, an industry veteran, your affiliate marketing guide, and the founder of Affyverse, Leanne Johnston.
Think you know how to spot a successful content creator? Our guest today started by deliberately keeping his face off camera. Now he's the one brands are scrambling to work with. Joe Sabiti flipped the traditional influencer playbook upside down, building a Discord empire of over 9,000 members before most creators even figure out their first TikTok strategy. But here's what's really interesting. He's about to blow the lid off what brands get catastrophically wrong when approaching creators. From the real price tags that make partnerships worth a creator's time, to why your perfectly crafted outreach emails are getting radio silence. Joe's sharing the unvarnished truth about today's creator economy. And if you think throwing money at top-tier influencers is the answer, wait until you hear why that might be your biggest mistake. He's bringing hard-earned insights from both sides of the camera, managing faceless pages that rake in engagement while building a personal brand that has major platforms paying attention. Whether you're a brand trying to crack the creator code or an affiliate manager tired of getting ghosted, this conversation is about to change your entire approach to influencers and partnerships. Welcome to the Affiliate Marketing Podcast with me, your host, Leanne Johnston. And today I'm joined by Joe Sabiti, who I met at TikTok, actually. And we're going to be talking a lot about what Joe does, how he does it, and just share a little bit of knowledge around how influencers are working with brands, with advertisers, and just hopefully help affiliate managers to understand how better to work with guys like Joe. So Joe, welcome onto the podcast. It's fabulous to have you here today.
Thanks for having me.
Right, let's start off with your backstory, because we met at TikTok for Business. We were at the same event. We started chatting, and I thought I need to get you on this podcast because you know a lot about a lot, which is always a good place to start. But tell us a little bit about your business, about your backstory, and how you got started as a content creator.
Yeah, for sure. So I started off making faceless content. I feel like that's a lot of people's way into creating content now, just because there's like less barrier to entry. You're kind of scared of judgment and things like that. And then from there, my pages were quite successful across TikTok and Instagram. And I decided to start helping people. I opened up like a Discord server, which was also a way to monetize. And then I was getting a lot of the same questions. Once I built up the Discord, I think I got it with the totally faceless pages. I grew the Discord to around 7,000 or 9,000 members. And then I decided to basically start a YouTube channel with my face because I just wanted to help people. And I was getting the same questions again and again. I was like, I may as well just make videos on these. Yeah, I can refer people to the videos rather than just typing away.
So it started out with an idea and a concept to try and help people use the different social media platforms that are out there, from like Instagram, YouTube. You now have your Discord community as well. But what made you think about faceless pages? And maybe just step back and tell people listening to this podcast, what is a faceless page? Because I hadn't really, like in my peripheral view of the affiliate marketing industry, heard people mention it that way. I know what it is, but it's like a term that isn't maybe common to everybody listening to this podcast.
For sure, yeah. So it's essentially just like a social media page where you're editing up content and make it original. Like, at least it's a lot harder nowadays to just repost content. You used to be able to do that. It used to be able to work. So I'll create original content via maybe taking clips from podcasts, from like other podcasts, for example, and then editing those up and then posting it to my pages, or using audio from other people, or creating my own audio to create original videos. And then you'll just grow pages like that. And on Instagram as well, you can do it just through posts. So for the posts, you basically take other people's content on posts, or you can make your own on like Canva. But for me and my page, I'll take other people's content and then I'll just credit them. And if I can't find them to credit, then I would just basically say, DM me for credit. And then that way, it's a kind of a win because you're getting views and growing your audience. But at the same time, when people see your page, they're also getting traffic to their audiences. So they're less likely to try and cause problems with your posts. So that's how faceless pages work. there's a bunch of different ways you can do them.
Well, if you want to find out about those ways, you need to join Joe's community. But for now, what I wanted to do was just talk about, because a lot of people they're still a little bit scared of getting onto social channels because they don't know what to post. They don't know how to post. They think they have to do videos, and videos, everybody's nightmare. Not everybody is built for camera. So getting started with faceless pages to actually grow a community around a subject, a topic, or whatever it is that you're trying to promote or help people with is a good way to get started as a content creator. So what I wanted to do before we get into some of the kind of like nuts and bolts of how you do it is just talk about one of the first things that you should be doing, or one of the first channels that you should be looking at if you're starting as a content creator and want to build a community, a page, a group, whatever it is that you want to do. What are the things that you need to think about before you get started? And guys, we will share Joe's links, but he's built a really phenomenal audience around some of the stuff that he's doing. And I already wanted this podcast to pick his brain so that we can help all of you. So give us like the basics, what you need to do before you get started. And then we'll go into some of the more like tactical, challenging things that you've had to overcome as you've grown your business.
Yeah, for sure. I'd say even if you're trying to create grow a personal brand, or if you're trying to grow a faceless page, it's the same thing. Like the concepts are the same. So what I would say is pick something that you're interested in, that you want to talk about. Once again, this is for faceless or not faceless, because you're probably already consuming that content. Therefore, it's going to make it much easier for you to go ahead and create that content. That was how I started. I was already consuming these kind of like luxury posts. And I decided, you know what, like attention's a new currency. Let me try and grow a page myself. And because of that, I already knew what the consumer would want. So I had like an unfair advantage against other people that are maybe just doing it because they just wanted to make money. And I also found it fun as well. And then the next thing I would say is pick the platform you use the most, because once again, you're on that platform, you're going to know the most about it. Someone that spends 10 hours a day on TikTok is probably going to be quite good at posting TikTok, because they're going to pick up some things, even if it is subconsciously. So yeah, that's what I'd say. And then that's why I started my personal brand on YouTube, because I watched a lot of personal brands on YouTube. Whereas with the faceless stuff, I was mostly watching that kind of content on Instagram and TikTok. Hence why I started there.
Yeah. And what are the challenges that you have managing across 3 different platforms? Does the content that you create work across all 3, or do you have to tweak it for the channel that you're going to push it out to?
It depends. Like in some niches it works, in some niches it doesn't. Definitely now I'm actually working on trying to basically make a new style for the TikToks for it to be different, because the platforms are just different. And like I said, it's harder nowadays to just repost content across. It can work, especially if you're a personal brand, it can work. But even still, there's content that tends to work better on each platform. But if you just wanted to make one piece of content, then I would just say have a platform that you focus on. So for me, that was TikTok at the start with the faceless page, and then Instagram started picking up and it was doing better. So I decided to focus on Instagram. But yeah, the difference is like you can make different content for each platform if you wanted to. And then with that, obviously, make multiple pieces yourself, or have your people that are making content for you make 2 pieces of each content to fit the needs of the platforms.
Yeah. Okay, so at what point did you realize, because, you know, you started out with a faceless page, then you went on to YouTube videos, then you had your Discord community. At what point did you realize that you were gaining significant traction, and how did you scale your operations while staying behind the scenes? Like, you can't be everywhere all at once. And I know your team is quite small and lean, but you kind of push out a lot of content. So what tactics do you use to build that trust and authenticity with your audience and scale when you're doing 3-4 different channels and different things? Like, how have you learned from that experience?
Yeah, so with the faceless pages, it's very easy to outsource, although I didn't do it for a while. And I would say to anyone, like, to be honest, it's quite good to learn the thing first, even if it is to a basic level. So then you understand if, for example, if an editor is saying, oh, like it's taking me a week to do this video, you're like, I could have had this video edited in a day. And then also you can give them advice, you know, even if they are better than you, because obviously you probably want to hire people that are better than you. But let's go back to the question. At the start, it was just me on the faceless pages. It's like it didn't take too much time. I had a job at the time as well, so I was just doing it in my spare time, trying to build it up. And then with the YouTube and creating authenticity there, which obviously said about that, I think the easiest way to do it, and the easiest way that worked for me, and obviously you do the same, is just talk about what you know. And then that way you're giving value to people, and I think people can pick up if you like actually understand something and actually do it. But yeah, that's what I came with to the YouTube, and how I managed to grow it quite quickly. Because I saw the space and I was like, there's a lot of people in the space that were talking, they were giving good advice, but a lot of it was quite dated. And then there was other people that I actually knew from the space that were on YouTube, but they were giving advice and they seemed like they were trying to like gatekeep things. So I was just like, I'm just going to come on YouTube and just give everyone as much value as I can for free. And I think people saw that and they enjoyed the content and obviously followed.
How How big is your YouTube channel?
Right now it's like 28,000 subscribers, and I've been doing it for like just around a year and a half, I think.
And how do you currently monetize all of that? Do you work predominantly as an affiliate, or would you consider sponsorship deal? Like, how do you figure out, because building the content is your key area of genius. You know how to build a page, you know how to get people onto it, you know how to curate the content to keep them on there. But how did you figure out through this process as you were growing your business, when do I do an affiliate deal? When do I do a sponsorship deal? And what brands would get that different conversation? Because my audience really wants to learn how to work better with people like you, but because we've never walked a mile in your shoes, we sometimes approach the relationship a little bit wrong. So I guess if anybody was sitting here watching us have this podcast, the first person that would put up their hand would be, how can I actually make your life easier? What is it that I need to do as a brand, as a tech company, whoever it is that you're promoting? How would you prefer to be approached by the marketers at these companies to actually commercialize and do a deal with these audiences that you're curating across multiple platforms?
Yeah. So I've done a bit of affiliate marketing on the faceless pages. I did that before the YouTube, but they were more so with like educational kind of companies. That was just a niche I was in and it worked best with. But I think for the faceless pages on that side of thing, if people are trying to get those creators, if someone's already got an audience, you're probably it's going to be hard to get them to be like doing an affiliate marketing deal for you unless they are not monetizing and you're giving them a very good offer and a way to monetize, which is how I actually started with affiliate marketing on the faceless pages. Is I wanted to like make some money. So I was like, okay, if people buy from my link, and it's just quite easy, but it needs to be a good offer that makes sense for the page, because otherwise I think that people like running the pages will realize that it's probably not going to work for them. And then as for the YouTube, it just came naturally. Like obviously I've never really done it before, but people were offering me sponsorships and stuff. I actually did do sponsorships for a while just because I would just promote things that I use. And then I was like, okay, it probably makes sense to start doing some as I grew more and more. But still, I only really tend to promote things that I have either personally used and like I do use, or I would promote things that I could see myself using, just because I don't want to be inauthentic on my YouTube. That's like a thing that's quite important to me. So I think that's important when brands are reaching out, is just to see whether it actually does fit the person's channel.
Like every brand wants an influencer to promote their brand, but if the authenticity, and you've said that 3 times in the last sentence, which is why I'm picking up on it, if the authenticity of the product doesn't match the consumer and the audience and the influencer who has to create the content, it's probably not a good idea to do that deal just for the sake of doing it, because you'll pay the money, you'll not get the ROI, the content creator is not going to identify with the product, and that's going to show through in the content, which is what you've just said.
Yeah, exactly. The easiest things I find to promote are things I genuinely use. That's the only reason I promote those things, because I don't want to stop a video to do an ad read. That's not how I want to do it. I want to be able to integrate it in a way that makes sense. So that's how I like to do all of my ads. I feel like it probably converts best for the brands, and also at the same time, it doesn't make me look like I'm just trying to cash grab.
What are some of the key challenges that you faced as you've grown this business? Because I think if you share your story, a lot of people will understand how, like, not to approach, not to try and broker a deal, or like really make it easy. Because what I hear from my side of the industry is we can't get hold of our influencers. They don't actually respond to our emails. Now, what is it? Like, give us the golden goose on, if you want to contact me, this is how you need to approach me. This is the information that I need to hear or see, and that will help me to make a decision as to whether we're the right fit. Like, give us an example of an advertiser that contacted you that maybe you didn't know of before, but you did the deal because the way that they approached it. What's the best way to approach an influencer and actually get a deal done?
I mean, obviously, yeah, it really depends on the influencer. But with me, it's like a lot of the people that I won't ever really work out deals with is brands that tend to come to you just offering on an affiliate basis, because in at least in my opinion, I'm not trying to do like an actual ad read and stuff and like really try and sell something if it's just on an affiliate basis. The way I tend to do affiliate marketing on my YouTube is if I'm using something in the video, because I do educational kind of content. If I'm using something in the video, and then I may as well add an affiliate link, right? So I do that, and if it's something, then that makes sense. But otherwise, I tend to, like, it makes you feel more valued if a brand offers you money up front, as well as maybe an affiliate on the back. That, like, you can obviously work that out. Maybe you bring down the flat fee to up the affiliate on the back end. Or
what's kind of average flat fee that you would want that to start at, like for the size of audience that you have, just to give our listeners an indication, because pricing is such a sensitive thing, and if you get it wrong on that first touch point, you can really heckle it off to just go, "Are you ridiculous? I don't want to work with you." And there's a lack of education in our industry as to what is reasonable, what is not reasonable. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, there's definitely been some situations like that with myself. Like, I don't really get annoyed, but I'm just not going to respond to it because clearly we're not on the same alignment. So, for example, like creating content does cost money as well. Like I have an editor and stuff. The overheads are pretty like, they're not very large. So it is like a good business in that sense. But if someone offers me like say $200, $300, it's just not worth it. I'd rather just not do it. I'd rather just make the video how I want to do it and not have to be checking with a brand to see, okay, is this video okay to post? So that's one thing. But yeah, around my audience size, it depends. If there's an affiliate as well, can probably be like just below 1,000, in dollars we're talking, up to, if it's like a dedicated video, which I very rarely do, because in my opinion, they don't really work the best unless it's like a perfect situation. I've only ever done one of those and I got paid 3,000 for that, but that was when I was much smaller. Yeah, but it like I say, it depends, because with the dedicated videos, obviously to your audience, at least from my point of view, I think it's much easier to integrate it into a video, integrate the ad into a video.
And it's more authentic for the customer. And I'm super glad that you've said that, because a lot of brands, a lot of affiliate managers that I speak to, they always want to have exclusivity. And actually, from a consumer's perspective, exclusivity looks suspect. Because it's like, why are you only talking about this one product? If I want to solve this problem, there should be like 2 or 3 products, and I should then choose which one I like or which one works best. And a lot of your videos that I've watched really do go into the nuts and bolts about why I like this product, what I've actually done with this product and how it works. And I think customers, they're engaging with that more. So like a small little, you've heard it here from the horse's mouth, guys. Don't try and force your influencers and your content creation partners to only promote your product, because sometimes it's not the right fit for their audience to be receiving information that way, and it doesn't feel authentic for them.
No, I agree that that's probably the ads that do the best are just the ones that are authentic. For example, I've done one that was like, I quite often I've done some print on demand stuff, and I can talk about monetizing Instagram pages, and it goes very hand in hand, because I genuinely would recommend to people, if they start an Instagram page and they want to start selling clothing, to at least do print on demand first to validate an idea. That way they don't have to go and spend thousands up front on a product that might not even work. Yeah, it just makes it fit very easily, and I can show you using the platform because I have used the platforms before. So yeah, it's almost in a sense something that I could promote. In fact, I think I promoted one of the brands before they even paid me. Wow. And then if they're going to offer me the money, then sure. But it's like obviously the difference is when we're paying the influencer their money is you have a bit more control, and it's going to be a bit more like salesy, of course. Whereas when I'm not getting paid and it's just an affiliate link or whatever, I'm just like, this is the thing I use. If you guys want to use it, I'll leave a link in the description, and that'll be it. Whereas if obviously I'm getting paid, then it's a bit more, I'll show off the product a bit more.
So how do you break up the content that you're creating for bringing your audience to you and the content that you're creating for pay, like for monetization, because you can't do it for free, right? So how do you decide in a month, I've got to create this much content for like engagement to actually get audiences in, and I've got to create this much content for making the monies? Like, how do you decide that? Or does it just naturally flow as you get bigger?
I would say it naturally flows, and you've got to pick and choose which sponsorships, because at least with me, I get quite a few people reaching out to me, which once again is probably something that's useful to know, because once again, if you're offering or if you don't have a great offer, if you're just trying to get someone interested in an affiliate deal, like I'm never going to promote something that I don't already use on an affiliate basis, because then it's a risk for me for not too much reward. I've got to go ahead and create a totally separate video, just to promote this product. So that's one thing. But then in terms of actually choosing which is which, I tend to mix them both together. Like I say, with the promotions, the way I do it, the promotions I pick, at the same time, they should be growing my audience. And if I'm growing my audience and it's generally a good video, then they should trust me more if it's a new viewer throughout watching that video, to then be like, okay, this product's actually probably good, whatever I'm suggesting.
So let's talk about that, because you just said I get hundreds of emails every day. Which one to answer? What would you like to see in an email? What really grabs your attention? Let's break it down. So price, obviously not a ridiculous, stupid price for the amount of people that I speak to. What other things do you see that are triggers that go, I'm going to say yes?
Honestly, if it's a brand that is big, because obviously they're more trustworthy. If I've seen them before, for example, like I just mentioned, Printify, quite a big brand. I've seen them being promoted before. Therefore, there's way less chance of something going wrong with that brand and it causing me issues, or because I'm selling to my audience. I don't want to cause any issues. So that's one thing. And then the other thing is just the email. It depends how they're worded. Some of them are quite professional, and then some of them
templated as in, hi, my name is Leanne and I'm from so-and-so company and we'd like to work with you.
Yeah, but to be honest, I don't even mind that too much, because obviously I know this business is business at the end of the day. I'm not too bothered about them trying to be all nice or it seemed personal, but it's good if they bring up something so for example, some people would reach out to me and their product just doesn't even make sense to my audience. So you probably haven't even actually looked at my channel. You just saw I'm in this broader niche, but I talk about this specific thing. Whereas if someone's, oh, we saw this specific video and we really liked how you did this, we think you could integrate our product, then it makes me a bit more interested because once again, they've clearly looked into it and they think it'll work well with my audience. And if I like the product, then I can use it, then it's going to be easy to promote.
So do you work a lot with brands and ask them for like free trials or gifts of whatever it is that they want you to promote? Is it essential that you get that?
Yeah, that's one thing that's essential for me. One's pretty different for different creators.
Yeah.
I have to try the product, whatever it is. If anyone reaches out to me that is even listening to this, maybe I would always say like, I would want to try it out first because if I haven't used it in the past already. So for example, I've been reached out by some brands and I genuinely do use their stuff. So it's a no-brainer for me to promote it, right? Because I use it. But if I don't, then I need to try it out first because I'm not going to promote anything to my audience that, like I say, I wouldn't use or don't see a use case for. At the same time, it's not really something that's going to make me promote something because I get offered a lot of free trials with different things. But of course, you only have so much time in a day. So it's like, it's more so if it's something that excites me to try out.
So that's really the job of the affiliate manager or the brand marketer that's contacting you. It's their job to actually make sure that in that first email, they're making you excited about the product. They're showing you the possibilities of what that product could do with your audience and then giving you that commercial, what's the word I want to say? Not safeguard, but like understanding that they are legit, that they are going to pay you, that they're not like some fly-by-night company. So it's all of those kind of like tactile things that need to flow through in that first email that actually makes you respond.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, that's pretty much the nail on the head.
So out of all of your favorite brands that you work with right now, like your favorite one, why is it your favorite? What do they do that's different to other people that makes you want to work with them again and again?
Okay, one big thing actually, one thing that is really big that will make me like not want to work for a brand again, no matter how well it does or how much they pay. And this has happened a few times, is they just micromanage the content. It's at the end of the day, like I know my audience better than you. So just let me create it and it's going to be the most authentic. Whereas if you're trying to do certain things and the video doesn't perform well, like it can't even really come back to me because I kind of like, there's been situations where I've told brands, I don't think this performed as well. It doesn't perform as well. That's what they asked for. I'll say none of it's performed as well. And they'll just be like, oh no, it's worked well for other people. Like, let's try it.
It's good that you say that because a lot of the times, like you would never walk into your doctor's surgery and tell your doctor how to diagnose you. So why are you telling a content creator how to actually create content? There is a difference in that though, because content creators do also need to be cognizant of the fact that brands do need to have brand protection. They do need to make sure that the content that's going out is representing their brand well. So there needs to be some kind of like mutual sign-off process that, especially for bigger brands, because they've got much more like legal and red tape to get through with PR and disclaimers and everything else that needs to happen. But honestly, I mean, I think it works both ways because if you are a content creator and you are building a business, you also need to understand what the FTC regulations are, what the ICO regulations are, what disclaimers need to be in your content, because otherwise you really shouldn't be doing this job.
No, I agree. And obviously I'm always going to send the brands the content before I post it. Obviously that's always the case.
Not everybody does that though. So that's maybe another tick point for affiliate managers to actually think about is, well, if the content creator is not sending me stuff before, then maybe it's not the right content creator for us. So, you know, sometimes they'll just create a little 30-second video, throw it out live and see what happens. But with bigger brands, you are going to have to be cognizant of the fact that they have those kind of like guidelines that they have to follow.
On an affiliate basis, like I say, it's a lot easier because there's no attachment, like I say, when I'm doing an affiliate, when I'm making money for affiliates and promoting affiliate links, it's just because I use it. I'm going to talk about it in the video. If I can find an affiliate link, then great. I may as well get paid for people, the traffic that I send there. But yeah, when it's like I'm being paid, like I always send it to the brand. Even before I film the video, I'll send the script to the brand because for me, once again, with doing sponsorships, it's quite important that it looks organic, right? If I film the video and then the brand go, oh, the script's good, or they say, oh, we want an adjustment in the script, and then I have to go ahead and refilm the promotion part, it's going to look more like a promotion because one day, I don't know, my hair might be different. I might be in a different jumper. Like, obviously, it's somewhat obvious. You can't ever get everything exactly the same. So I like to make sure that everyone's happy with everything before I go ahead and film. So yeah, it's sort of flowing video. I filmed it all in the same day and you can tell that.
So I got two more questions for you as we wrap up this podcast. And it has been really interesting getting you on the mic and talking about your perspective, because I think a lot of affiliate managers that are trying to bring influencers in that just haven't walked a mile in your shoes to understand what you're dealing with in your business every day and the challenges that you need to overcome in order to create that content and actually pull that audience into your curated pages. But what do you think of AI? Like, how much are you using AI right now to either generate content or create content or plan content? Has that actually leveraged and helped your business a lot, or are you still being quite authentic and human about the content that you create?
Yeah, I think on my pages, it's a lot easier. Like on the faceless pages, it's a lot easier to use AI. I've used AI for a while. 11 Labs is a great tool to generate voices. That's the main one I've used. And once again, they have an affiliate link. So that's one of the ones I promote. But then like with my personal content, I don't use too much AI, to be honest with you. Like I think it's great, but at the same time, I just quite like to script things myself. Because even when I'm filming, I don't really run off a script. Like I do have a script, but compared to what actually is said in the video, like it's different. I don't just read line for line.
I always feel that makes me less authentic. What I'm talking about, I'm shooting from the hip because it's my knowledge and it's my area of expertise. But when somebody sticks a script in front of me and says, oh, you need to speak about this, I almost get like a deer in headlights and go, oh, I've forgotten that bit. And I get like extra nervous. Does that also happen with you?
Yeah. So it's almost just, I don't really do that. I just, because I'm writing my own scripts, I tend to write them. So obviously you need a structure to the video. That's the main reason I do it. So I'll write it and then I'll try and film the video straight away. Obviously that's a bit harder. I'm working with brands, I have to send it to them because then it's just fresh in your mind. And I'm obviously not going to say exactly what's on the script, but it's more so just like to jog my memory. So for example, one part, and it'll be scripted, like I could read it word for word, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to read the first bit and be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's what I was talking about. Let me talk about that.
Kind of how we've run this podcast today, isn't it?
But then also, as for like the AI, once again, the AI side, especially when it comes to personal branding, I think it's more authentic if it comes from you. But AI is helpful, and I do use it to help. For example, some of my faceless pages, I use it to help research. I use it to generate voices. I use it to help script. But when it comes to me and my YouTube channel, the minute I don't really use it. I might use it for like certain different things. Like there's some AI tools where you can test to see what performs better and things like that. And maybe every now and then to help me with like video ideas, but not too often. I tend to just come up with those myself. So
that's really the secret sauce, isn't it? That's what makes you you. What do you think the future of content marketing on social platforms is going to be like next year? Like what are the big trends that you're seeing coming in that maybe my audience needs to be watching out for and thinking about integrating into their programs?
Yeah. To be honest, one thing that I think is just massive, and me being in that space, is like TikTok shop affiliate. I don't know if you're too familiar with that, TikTok shop affiliate. Like, I assume I see that rolling out a lot more across different platforms to the point where you can tag products on a video. And I think the whole like social first kind of space is going to be pretty big. And when I'm looking to explore with more. But then in terms of, I guess people that have like affiliate things now, I think, and are trying to run sponsorships now, I think the big change is going to be to do with authenticity, because I think that's just like a massive trend that's like turned around where people are not really just promoting things. It needs to be something they actually care about for it to come across authentic.
Yeah. And in terms of types of content, because I was quite surprised when we were at the TikTok event or TikTok for Business event, like short form content was the big thing. But remember in the classroom, I asked everybody like who's creating long form content and who's creating short, and everybody was like long form. And to me, that's like a complete, like we've gone 360 almost, or 180 or whatever it is, because everybody was all about the 30-second snippet, get to the point, get it done in under a minute. And now it seems like everybody's watching more long form content. So is that maybe a trend that you're going to see continue next year?
Yeah, no, I think because like especially from the faceless pages side of things, I've noticed that difference quite a lot, because the platforms care a fair bit about watch time on your videos, because obviously the longer someone is on your video, the more money that platform is going to make, because they can sell more advertising spots and they're just keeping people on that platform, right? So that's been like a trend for a while, I feel. But and obviously all of them are trying to increase, like YouTube Shorts has just released that their shorts, it's gone from 60 seconds to now 3 minutes. So all of them are trying to up the time, and on TikTok you can post like hour-long videos or something now. But I think short form content's great for gaining attention. But I think where you really build that connection and give like more value, if you're in the educational kind of space, such as I am, like that's going to be where you use the YouTube. You know, you get people interested with a short form and then you educate on the YouTube. And for now, I'm literally just focusing on the YouTube, but I do think down the line, I'm probably going to go more into short form and then, just like use it as a way to gain more attention around what I'm helping people with, and then actually help them on the YouTube, because only so much you can do in a shorter video and it's vertical, you know, there's not as much you can do. Whereas when it's like landscape and you can actually show things more, take your time, there's a lot more you can teach.
Joe, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the podcast this week. Thank you for opening up a little bit of a behind the doors look at what drives you, what challenges you, like what you're busy doing with your business. Because I think the more we can educate everybody all around the industry about how to make content creation a very big part of what they're doing and how to leverage influencers and affiliates like you who are out there churning out the content and building those communities, I think it's only going to help us all to grow. So I really appreciate you coming on and talking to me and being part of the podcast this season and just helping people to understand what goes on behind the scenes. It's been such a pleasure to have you.
Yeah, no worries. Hopefully it's helpful, because I do see a lot of people Well, some of the emails I get, I think some people maybe that are doing these things for the brands are a little bit out of touch.
They're not educated like that because they're coming into the industry with, very little experience, and they're just doing what they've been told, but they don't actually understand like how is the person feeling that's receiving that content. So I think to wrap it up, like Joe said, be authentic. You don't have to be professional or super cash either. Just be how you would be as if you were meeting him in a conference hall, or get to the point quickly because he's busy and he's getting hundreds of these emails every day. Make sure that you understand your price points. Don't come with a $200 and I want the world and everything else on a golden platter, because it costs money to actually create this content. And then get to the point of why your product and not somebody else's, because those are the kind of 4 things that he needs to know. So I think that's pretty clear. It's not difficult.
Yeah, the other things I would say is also think about the time it takes to create a video, because like for me, I pretty much post 1 YouTube video a week, so that's taking up 1 out of 4 spots per month. So that's another thing to think about, whether it'd be worth it for me. And plus, at least in my situation, like YouTube isn't the whole business. I am making money off of YouTube with what I'm helping people with. So that hence why I didn't take promotions for so long. Like I can't remember how, I think I might have been like around 15K subs before I took my first promotion, because otherwise it just wouldn't have really made much sense for me. And then another thing as well that I will say, I forgot to mention before, that does help me when it comes to actually like going ahead and taking on a promotion, is maybe getting on a call with people, because then you can actually speak to them and you can, see where you're at with each other and work out the deal on a call. It's a bit quicker. But with that being said, you have to be interested first, because obviously like I say, everyone's busy. You can't just jump on every single call of every brand. But it is a good option to have, because there have been some brands I've spoken to and there hasn't been that option to jump on a call, and it makes it a bit slower because you're doing everything via email.
So would you still say that this industry, I still believe this industry is driven by relationships, like you and I on this podcast, because we had a really interesting discussion about, I think I asked you about, and I'm really like going back in the annals of my mind here because it's been a couple of months since we met, but I think I asked you something about talent management or something. Who commercializes your deals? Should influencers have talent management? And I think I remember you saying, but everybody lies. So it was like, who do you trust? You got to go into this, and relationships really matter with that. So getting on calls to get that kind of look, are you looking me in the eye? Are you like intently listening to what I'm doing? You don't necessarily have to meet somebody for a coffee, but having a call with somebody is so much better than just sending an email. And I think a lot of affiliate managers still hide behind, I'll just send an email and then I can tick it off my list because I did it. And it's actually easier to get on a call to get everything hashed out and spoken about. And you can tell how engaged they are with you and whether they're excited. And I believe in the power of Zoom still in terms of building relationships.
100%. Like it makes it a lot easier as well, because I know if I've been in a call with someone, I can be like, cool, you want this and this, I can go away and do it, and it makes it a lot easier. And then we can just both help each other. And you just I feel like you get a bit more of a feeling for each other. And definitely relationships are very important if you are trying to work with like creators.
Fabulous. Listen, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming onto the Affiliate Marketing Podcast and sharing your journey and your story. We will link you guys listening to everything that Joe does, so you can go check out a little bit more about what he does and how would you like people to contact you? Should they just message you through the platform of their choice, or?
I'm not the best at getting back to messages. Okay. The best way to contact me is probably via email, because I constantly stay on top of those.
Thank you, Joe. Have a fabulous day, and thank you for sharing all of this knowledge with affiliate managers and affiliates that are listening in to this podcast. I really appreciate you being here. Do you hear that? That's the sound of your affiliate program skyrocketing. Intrigued? Then you need to know about Advertise magazine. This isn't just another industry publication. It's your personal affiliate marketing powerhouse. Imagine having a mentor, a strategist, a productivity coach, all rolled into one sleek square package that sits right on your desk, helping you to grow your affiliate program every single quarter. Advertise magazine is the quarterly toolkit you've been dreaming of. It's packed with cutting-edge insights, expert interviews, and a full promotional calendar brimming with ideas to keep you ahead of the curve. But here's where it gets really exciting. We've included guided planning sheets and goal-setting tools that turn your big ideas into actionable steps. It's like having an accountability partner that never sleeps. Whether you're mapping out your next big campaign or planning your affiliate conference schedule, the Advertise magazine keeps you on track and fired up. And the best part? This game-changing resource is available to you to download digitally or order in print. But wait, there's more. Join our exclusive club and you'll get the premium premium print edition delivered to your door every single quarter. Plus, you'll unlock a treasure trove of perks, including live strategy sessions with industry titans and VIP access to our in-person events. Don't let another quarter slip by without the secret weapon in your arsenal. Head to affiversemedia.com, click on the magazine button at the top of the homepage, and order your print copy of the Affiverse magazine today. Your desk, your affiliates, and your business will thank you.